All right, y'all, so what's up? Checking in for yet another study sesh. It is October 10th, 1:20 p.m. and I am about to get started on my study sesh for today. In terms of what I'm working on, it's going to look very similar to what I was working on Friday. My to-do list, which I wrote on my board today, is going to be starting another logical reasoning section. So I'll be doing 14 questions. I don't know what it is, but my tutor recommending that I try to like split up the sections rather than trying to tackle all the questions has really been working for me and just helping me feel a lot less overwhelmed by the amount of information that I'm trying to process and really, understand. So I'm going to be doing that probably the first half, and then the second hour, I'm not really sure, depending on how this first half of the study session goes. But it's either going to be working on one logic game in another new analytical reasoning section, or I'll be doing probably 2 passages in a reading comp section. So yeah, that's what's on the agenda for today. As always, I will come on and let y'all know how it goes, and we're gonna take it from there. So happy Monday, and also happy, I can't say the 1st of October, but I'll just say happy fall and happy October. So yeah, I'll see y'all in the update. Okay, so I just finished doing those 14 logical reasoning questions. Y'all, I'm very frustrated. So out of 14, I got 6 correct, but there was 4 of them that I was torn between 2 answer choices, and it was the answer choice that I was torn between that was the correct answer. So that would have been 11 out of 14 if I would have, I guess followed my other, my first mind or my second guess or whatever. But yeah, it's just really frustrating. Like, why do I keep making the same mistakes or the same, the same issues keep coming up? Yeah, so I'm a little frustrated. If I'm being honest, because I'm just like, at what point am I gonna get to unlocking, 10, 11, 12, 14? Like, can I get them all right? But yeah, and I really did try to pay more attention to the abstract language, the contract language, but it wasn't enough, looks like. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little bit bummed about that. But once again, dealing with it, 13, 14 questions at a time helps me just process things a lot better. I saw something on an Lsat Instagram, page or whatever, and it was like, in order to get a 150, you have to get 14 right in every section. And I know I'm capable of that, and that's been my goal, is I want to get 14 right in every section, and to be doing 14 questions today and only get 6 right, but have second guessed myself on 4 and could have had 11 out of 14 right, it definitely leaves me feeling a little salty. But yeah, nevertheless, we gotta keep moving. So that's how the first half went. What am I gonna do next? Actually, y'all, I think I'm just going to do the remaining questions in that logical reasoning section, because yeah, I'm just feeling like I want to work on that still. And then I'll be done for the day because I don't know. I can't even get my words out right. Clearly that bummed me out, but like I know reading comprehension is my strong suit, so I feel like I'm not always as worried about reading comprehension. But like something about logical reasoning, like once you do a section and you see where you messed up and you see that like the mess ups that you had or the mistakes that you made were like dumb or like minor, it makes you want to do more of it. I'm sure some of y'all can relate if you're studying for the Lsat and happen to be watching this. But yeah, so I think that's actually what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do the reading comprehension. I'll focus on that at some other point this week. But yeah, I'm just gonna close out this logical reasoning section and call it a day. So I'll let y'all know how that goes. All right, y'all, so I did the other remaining 12 questions in that logical reasoning section, and of those 12 questions, I got 7 correct, which overall in total from the first half to the second half, that means that I got 13 questions correct out of 26 questions, which is ultimately 50. It's like a 50%. And yeah, I said I was frustrated, but honestly, I'm just a little bummed out because I was hoping that I will be able to do a little bit better on that second section, and just to see that like I really only got 1 more correct than I did the first half is a little bit of a bummer. But yeah, I'm gonna try not to dwell on it, because dwelling on things that you get wrong when you're practicing, especially in logical reasoning, is just not a good thing or a good habit to form. But I am about to get on Zoom here in a quick minute with my tutor to just try to go over. Really, it's like 3 questions that I just want him to go over with me because they just threw me off completely, and I really thought I was thinking correctly. So that is what's on the agenda for now. I imagine that will probably take us till 4:30. It's 3:49 right now. Like I said, I just finished this section. And then after that, your girl's wrapping up her study session for today, because the frustrating, process with getting really second guessing myself on a lot of them. Yeah, I'm just kind of at my max for today with logical reasoning.
What do you make of that argument? Where do you think there might be some weakness or something missing in that argument?
They're trying to say that, well, the argument is that the government doesn't really support the recent protests.
What is it that they're saying the government doesn't support? Read that more carefully.
The government supports freedom of popular expression.
Right. It says freedom of public expression. They say no, they don't. They do no such thing. So, okay. So their point is the government doesn't support freedom of popular expression. What's their proof?
Lee says that they would also support things that they oppose as well, if that was true.
Yeah, exactly. If it were true, they would support things that they oppose.
Hey y'all, what's up? It is Thursday, October 5th, a little bit after 2:30 p.m. And I am getting ready to start my study session for today. I think I'll probably do 2 hours or around like an hour and 30 minutes today. What is on the agenda in terms of what I'm going to be doing? I am going to do half of a logical reasoning section, just because I'm really determined right now to like improve my score with logical reasoning after the things that happened previously this week and last week with me in logical reasoning sections, and just missing so many, I feel like, easy questions that I should have gotten on the first go round. So I'm going to do that 12 questions, and then I am going to work on an analytical reasoning section, which is probably going to just be me doing 1 game so that I don't overwhelm myself. But yeah, that's what's on the to-do list or the agenda for today. And as always, I will come back on once I have done both of those sections to let you all know how it went. So I'll see y'all then. What is the question talking about? The question is talking about how some churches have the question is talking about how some religions have updated their language from traditional text and rituals to more contemporary text and modern rituals. And because of those religions updating them, they have seen an uptake or an increase in the people who are coming to worship at their churches, right? So that's what the scholar is arguing. The question is asking, or the question stem is asking, where is the flaw in the reasoning, right? I believe that the flaw in the reasoning, in my own words, is that they're failing to consider that there could be another reason why the churches are seeing an uptake in the amount of people who are coming to worship at the church, right? Just because the texts and things are being modernized doesn't mean that that's the only reason why there could be an increase in who's coming to the church. So the two answers that I'm stuck between, or that I need to put against each other to find the correct answer, are C and D. C reads, the modernization of the texts and rituals of some religions was the cause of their increases in attendance, which is essentially what I said, right? And then D reads, making texts and rituals more modern is the only way in which a religion could bring about an increase in attendance at places of worship. So the question asks, the scholar's reasoning is flawed because the scholar presumes, without giving sufficient means without giving enough justification, that I think that both of them are very similar. And this is always where I go wrong, because the answer choices are often similar, but there's something that makes them different. So what makes them different? C says that it was just the cause, period. D says that making texts and rituals more modern is the only way. Only makes me think about necessary, like a necessary assumption, right? Which means it like must be, right? And I don't think that's what it's saying. So I think enough. I'm leaning towards C, which is the modernization of the texts and rituals of some religions was the cause of their increases in attendance. I think only way just makes it more limiting. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I'm thinking. All right, y'all, so what's up? It is Monday, October 9th, and it is a little later in the day. It's a little bit before 5 p.m. West Coast time. And yeah, I decided I was going to have a slow Monday. So I did some reading in a book that I'm reading. It's called Take My Hand. And it's really good. So I kind of got caught up in that. And then after that, I decided to work out because it actually feels like fall outside today. So I was enjoying that mid 70 degree weather. And now I'm about to get started on my brief study session for today because your girl is a little tired, if you can't already tell by how my face looks. But I'm committed. So I'm going to complete the remaining 13 questions that I did not get a chance to finish from the logical reasoning passage, or section rather, that I worked on in previous clips. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna wrap up my study sesh because, like I said, it's gonna be a brief one. Your girl's a little bit tired, but as always, we move, and tired is not gonna get me where I need to be, right? So gonna do those 13 questions, and then as always, I will come back on to let y'all know how it went. All right, y'all, so it is 6 p.m. and I just finished doing the remaining 13 questions of that logical reasoning section. Your girl did yeah. that's what I'd say to that. But I mean, out of the 13 questions, I got 7 correct. Yeah, which is still like a 50 something, 52, 53, something like that. So yeah, I don't really know. I mean, in retrospect, that would have put me at 18 questions correct out of 25 for the entire section. So I think that's not that bad. I think that's actually really good. But it just requires so much work to really dissect these, and I know that like I have to keep putting that in order to see those kinds of scores, you know, on test day. Because 18 out of 25 is not bad at all. And like I was telling y'all in previous clips, that like my goal is really to obtain at least we're always hoping for more, but at least 14 correct in each section, because that would put me at my goal of at least obtaining 150 to 154 range. So yeah, that's still obviously the goal. But that is a wrap for today's study session. Like I said, I'm tired. You can probably hear it in my voice and on my face. You can see it. But I'm glad I pushed myself to kind of get some work in today. And I will see you all on Thursday, as long as nothing comes up. And we'll be back to it per usual. So yeah, until then, be easy. So I also wanted to show y'all my law school affirmations. It's just 5 of them, but this is something that I actually created. I just wrote them out on different like colored sticky notes when I first started this journey about a year and a half ago, which is even really crazy to say. But yeah, I finally got them like professionally laminated and everything. So I just want to show y'all kind of what they are. But the first one is, I am capable of performing well on the Lsat. The second one is, my consistent studying will yield positive score increases, because baby, it's all about that faith. Okay, you gotta have faith. If you don't have faith in this process, it ain't gonna work out, sister. It ain't gonna work out. Number 3, my score on the LSAT does not determine my worth as a future attorney. This has been so essential, and I have been consistently repeating this to myself and reciting this to myself, because so many people's testimonies have shown that what you score on the LSAT does not determine your worth as a future attorney, or what you go on to do in your career as a lawyer. And I think really taking the time to be intentional and really just sit with where I am in this process and realize that I won't be here forever, you know, like this is a situational thing. This is a step along the journey and along the process to obtaining my Juris Doctor. So that's number 3. Number 4 is, I am capable, I am smart, I am worthy, and I will succeed. Let me say it one more time. I am capable, I am smart, I am worthy, and I will succeed. Can I get an amen? Amen. Yeah. And then last but not least, number 5, which is also crazy to say, but this is my like first time saying this out loud verbally, like to y'all on the vlogs and stuff in the Lsat Diary series, but I will get into law school in 2024. So I have officially decided that I am taking the stress off of myself. I'm going to enjoy a full year of post-undergrad rather, and I will be applying next cycle. I'm not going to stress myself out about trying to apply this cycle. I'm kind of in a somewhat like fellowship thing right now, and I just also applied to another one. So I just want to get as much experience and exposure to the legal field as possible before applying, as well as give myself ample amount of time to take the test and just really shoot my best shot. Like, so many people will tell you, just shoot your shot, like just take the test, just do this, just do that. Like, you have a great resume, you have a great experience, you were a very stellar student, you had great grades. Yes, those things may all be true, but this test score does determine scholarship money, and we can't act like it doesn't, right? So that is my last affirmation. I will get into law school in 2024, okay? I believe it, I see it, I got my eye on the ball, okay? So yeah, those are my law school affirmations, and like I said, I just created 5 of them, and I will recite them to myself before I begin my study session every day, or on the days that I study rather, and at the end of my study sessions, to continue to increase my faith in the process and continue to be just a good steward of, I guess, the situation and the circumstances that I am currently in now. Because when I look back, I'll be able to look back on this and be like, girl, you really was doing your big one. You was doing your big one. You was giving it all you got, you know? And so just trying to continue to show up as my best self, give it 100% on the days that, you know, I can. So yeah, so those are my law school affirmations, and I just wanted to share them with y'all. All right, y'all, so just finished doing those 2 reading comprehension passages, 14 questions total, and out of the 14 questions, I got 11 correct, 3 wrong, so that's pretty good. Of those 3 questions that I got wrong, they are like inference type questions, so it's something else that I need to kind of be paying attention to in terms of the reading comprehension and trying to work through those types of questions, or giving myself more time to work through those kind of questions. Yeah, I am kind of tired, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't know what's going on these past 2 days. I just been feeling really tired. But I've also been doing a lot of work in my internship, so that could likely be it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it today on the studying. I am capable of performing well on the LSAT. My consistent studying will yield positive score increases. My score on the Lsat does not determine my worth as a future attorney. I am capable, I am smart, I am worthy, I will succeed. I will get into law school in 2024. All right, y'all, so what's poppin', what's good? You know, it's your girl K Lotus Life checking in again for yet another study sesh. Today is Monday, October the 16th, and it is 1 p.m. literally on the dot. And I am checking in for my study session today. Y'all just saw me doing my law school affirmations before this clip. And yeah, on today's agenda in terms of what I'm going to get into for studying, last study session I did half of a reading comprehension section, so I did 2 passages, which was a total of 14 questions. Today's study session, I am going to complete the remaining questions of the reading comprehension section that I was working on, which leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with 13 questions and 2 more passages. So yeah, that is going to be my main focus for today. So I just completed the remainder of that reading comprehension section, and out of those 13 questions I got 10 correct, so that's actually pretty good, because that means for the entire section I got 21 questions correct out of 27 questions. So that means I only missed 6 questions out of the whole section, y'all. That is pretty damn good. So I feel really good about today's study session. There were some of them that I definitely missed that I feel like I could have spent more time on, and probably would have been able to get the right answer. But this test that I'm working out of is, what is this? I think this test is like, it says 1993, y'all. So I was trying to challenge myself by working in some of the older test prep books by Lsat, because the language in them is very much so contract language, like my tutor told me I need to work on. So I was trying to challenge myself with that and see if I could really just kind of persevere through some of that language and things or words and phrases that I did not understand. And I think, 21 out of 27 questions for this section, that's pretty damn good. I am capable of performing well on the LSAT. My consistent studying will yield positive score increases. My score on the LSAT does not determine my worth as a future attorney. I am capable, I am smart, I am worthy, I will succeed. I will get into law school in 2024. All right, y'all, so what's up, what's poppin'? Happy Friday. It is October the 20th. It is a little after noon, and I am about to get started on my study session for today. So today's goal is to work on logical reasoning. Super excited because LSAC finally announced that they are going to be discontinuing logic games starting August of 2024, and my choice to ultimately wait to apply until next cycle was largely based on the fact that I had really been struggling with logic games. Although I have seen some progress, I haven't seen a lot, and so knowing that, you know, applying next cycle after August 2024, it will not be on the test is definitely somewhat a relief to me. I definitely understand and empathize with the people who's, you know, for them, the logic game section is the section that they do the best on. Kudos and hats off to you, but that is not the case for everyone. And so, you know, historically, it also shows that Black and brown people are the people who tend to struggle the most with logic games, and just the LSAT test in general. So that was just kind of like feel like a moment like God winking, kind of like smiling down on me and reminding me that although I decided that I wasn't going to apply this cycle, you know, waiting another cycle is the best option for me. So I feel very confident in that decision. But on today's agenda, I am going to be, like I said, focusing on logical reasoning. So I found a section that I had not completed. I had done 14 questions in this section, and I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I still have 11 questions to do in this section, so I'm going to do those 11 logical reasoning questions. All right, so I just finished doing those 11 logical reasoning questions that I was telling y'all I was going to tackle, and out of 11 I got 7 correct, so that means I got 4 wrong. Out of the ones that I got incorrect, they essentially are still like assumption questions and me trying to figure out how to match up the flaw or identify the flaw, like the parallel reasoning with the flaw. That one is something that I wouldn't say I struggle with it, but it's definitely one that I know I need to work on. And I see myself when I do get things incorrect, like it's often those questions or those question types. For example, like for that entire section, because that was part 2 that I just did now, I usually break the sections up into parts. But for the first section, I got 8 correct. So total correct for that section would have been 15 out of 25. And so I would have only gotten 10 incorrect for the entire section, which, like I said, y'all, my goal is to get 14 correct in each section. That's at least a minimum of a 150. So, you know, looking at it retrospectively, that's actually pretty good, and that puts me meeting at my goal, or exceeding my goal rather, by 1 correct question. I'm about to try to call my tutor now, see if he's free to go over those 4 questions that I got incorrect, and also get his take on, like I said earlier, logic games being discontinued. All right, y'all, so what's up? Today is October 27th, Friday, October 27th, and today is the first day this week that I am being able to study. Monday was dealing with some health issues and in a lot of pain, so that didn't work out. And then Thursday yesterday was not mentally in a space to be trying to study. So today we're going to get it in a little bit, and on the agenda, it is going to be doing 2 reading comprehension passages, and trying to go over those questions that I get incorrect and learn why I missed them or where my thinking went wrong. All right, so I just completed those 2 reading comp passages, which was essentially the part 2 of me doing the first, I believe it was, the first 14 questions of that section. So it was overall 27 questions for the entire reading comp section. I did 13 today, and I did 14 the first time I worked on the section. For today's session, I got 8 out of 13. And the first 2 questions I got wrong in the section, and I got the last 2 wrong in the section. The first 2, I should have went with my second answer because that was the correct answer. That's a mile off. And then the last 2 I got wrong, honestly, just because I did not understand what the question stem was actually asking me. Overall, for that section, out of 27 questions, I would have gotten 19 out of 27, which is not bad. It's pretty good, I would say, for the entire section, but I definitely wanted to perform a little bit better on this second half of the reading comp section, or these 2 passages that I just did.
Is there then a counterexample to the general comments? I don't think we can say that there is.
No, I don't think that there is either.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey y'all, so what's up? It's your girl checking in for her study session today. Today is Monday, October 30th. So we are one day away from November 1st, which is even crazy to say. Also, really crazy to think about the fact that I have been on my consistent Lsat studying grind basically since June, July. So it's been a couple of months now, but consistently really in the grind since about July, I would say. So that feels really good today and about to be approaching November 1st. The agenda for today, study plan, I'm going to be doing 2 reading comp passages, 14 questions because I'm focusing on reading comp right now. And then this week I will be switching to logic games, which I'm not really excited about, but I need to get excited about it. So that is the game plan for today. And then, as usual, I will let y'all know how it goes. And you may or may not see some clips of me and my tutor going over the questions that I missed or the count that does not require objective verification. Because in my mind, I was like, if someone's telling their own story, then it's like, like a primary source. So there's no need for it to have outside, I guess, like
So
verification.
that's your idea, but what does the author of this passage say about a person telling their own story? We know they said there's pros and cons.
True. Pros and cons, and it does say that it talked a lot about needing to make sure that they verify the oral narrative as much as possible because of that.
Which is the exact opposite of E.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know, maybe just the language of it being at considerable risk of misrepresenting some historical facts.
So maybe you thought that was too strong?
Yeah, I guess strong is the best word.